Approximately 75% of Kenyans have access to the internet, but with high levels of unemployment in the country, how could Kenyans leverage on the power of the internet to make businesses? To expand more on this, we are joined by Andy Halsall, who is the CEO of Poa Internet in the country. Andy, let's start by you giving us an overview of the economic impact of internet connections to a country like Kenya.
Well, the impact of the internet can be really significant to a country like Kenya. It's well noted the link between creating education opportunities and also creating business opportunities. So as you get greater internet penetration in the country, the greater economic potential.
How can businesses, those who set up businesses, make the most of internet connections to grow their businesses?
Well, there's obviously two types of businesses. There's traditional types of businesses, so shops and so on. They can usually advertise their services online very efficiently. It's a great way to reach people, is to use online advertising. But now we're also seeing the advent of people creating internet-based businesses. So on our network, we're seeing people who are creating video editing agencies, who are producing online digital content. We're seeing all sorts of interesting opportunities created actually by using the internet as a business opportunity itself.
What would be your advice to that person who only uses internet just for their own leisure activities, and maybe they could use the power of the internet maybe to earn a penny from it?
Sure, there's all sorts of opportunities you can pursue to try and earn an extra shilling from doing this. For example, there was a series of services offered by Amazon, and Amazon actually captures work opportunities from the US and from Europe, and then offers those online to people working in Kenya. So you could use that service, sign up for that service, and that allows you to do activities such as identifying photographs and other things, and you get a good wage for doing those type of activities. So one of the great opportunities of the internet is it expands people's opportunities for work from just being in their local area to truly becoming international.
Could you say maybe more people leveraging on the internet could help maybe solve the issue of unemployment in the country?
Yes, in several ways. Firstly, the most basic, the internet provides a route for knowledge and education. Yeah. Obviously, as people get better trained, have better knowledge, better education, they're able to turn themselves into better workers, which means they can either get better jobs or they're better positioned to create their own businesses. So, it's very well proven, statistics from all sorts of organisations such as the World Bank and the IMF and all these kind of people, which basically very clearly links the ability to get online and the ability to both further yourself economically, but also to generate new business opportunities, both domestically and, as I said before, internationally.
Could you maybe give us an overview of the internet situation in the country? Where are we as a country and how are we going? How are we progressing?
To really get the impact out of the internet, we need to get people online consistently and regularly. Where the highest levels of penetration are amongst the middle class and the upper classes in the urban areas. Once you start going into the lower income communities, people simply can't afford to get online as easily and as regularly. So the big areas that needs to be addressed inside the country are how do we drive down the cost of internet, and how do we provide internet service into these communities which just don't get service at the moment, particularly rural communities.
Yeah. So driving down the cost, what are the private internet providers doing to make sure that this is achieved?
Well, all of us, as we add more customers to our networks, we get economies of scale. That means that we can buy things in bulk, and therefore we can also pass those savings on to our customers. The provision of sea cables into the country, that's where all of the internet comes into the country. There's a limited supply there, and the more cables there are, the more competition there is, the lower the price will become. Secondly, there needs to be greater investment in fibre across the country, because that's how internet is distributed from the sea cable where it comes in and across the rest of the country. So basically it needs investment. Yeah. Companies such as ours are building network, are trying to build capacity to allow us to reach unreached customers and using technologies to drive that cost base down.
Let's talk about cybersecurity, cyber threats that have been happening occasionally recently worldwide. What would you say, what should we do, or what should somebody or an individual or a company do to make sure that they are not attacked by these cyber threats that sometimes happen via the internet?
Well, there's some very basic and simple precautions that pretty much anyone who uses the internet can take. So if you have a laptop, you should always ensure you have the latest antivirus software and the anti-malware software installed, and you should make sure you update that on a regular basis. And you should use some good old-fashioned common sense in the way that, if somebody asks you in the street just to hand over your ID card, you might think twice about that. Well, if you get an email from somebody you're not certain who they are, you should be very cautious about handing out that personal information. For businesses, they can get more advanced. You can buy software and hardware that helps protect your business, but for many small businesses, that's beyond your effective capacity. So mostly it's common sense. Mostly make sure the software on your laptop or your phone is up to date. Make sure you've got the latest virus software. That will go a long way. Most of these attacks, whilst there are some incredibly sophisticated attacks, they tend to be based around governments and very large companies. For the average person, apply some common sense to what you do and make sure that you don't give out your personal information too freely.
Could you maybe explain to us the model on which Poa Internet operates on?
We provide unlimited internet. So we operate at the moment we operate primarily in low-income communities. So we're in areas such as Kibera and Kawangware in Nairobi. And we offer a public Wi-Fi service, and we start as low as 10 shillings. And that gives you 1 hour of unlimited internet. So you could watch an hour of YouTube or video if you wanted. If you compare that in comparison to the alternatives, such as getting it from mobile phone operators, that same 10 shillings would, that for an hour of YouTube would cost you upwards of 400 shillings. So our model is based around unlimited. We provide this as street-based service, so you can get internet via Wi-Fi in the street, and we also provide a service to people's homes, and we give unlimited internet in their homes for 1,500 bob.
How has this internet connection helped these people in these low area communities in terms of growing their businesses or their social life?
We've seen a large number of people start to develop internet-based businesses. So because we've moved to unlimited plans, and we're the only people in Kenya to offer these unlimited plans, what it means is people can create very bandwidth-intensive businesses. So we've seen plenty of people who have created video editing businesses. We get some people who've started receiving videos from, even wedding videos from Europe and the US, and then they edit them and send them back. So there's plenty of sort of entrepreneurial opportunity, and these have been created by the fact that people don't have to worry about how much data they're using. They can suddenly focus on actually creating a business rather than the cost of using the internet.
Well, we have been with Andy Halsall, who is the CEO of Poa Internet in the country, expanding to us more on matters internet. You are watching Business Insight with me, Nicholas Nduati.